transportation, energy consumption, anti-pollution systems, and things that generally make people's lives easier. And this video is all about some of the most genius ideas and creative solutions that are already available and in use in certain places around the world, and they look set to become part of our everyday lives. Ranging from a city that captures rainwater and then uses it in a brilliant way, to a simple invention from Norway that helps cyclists get up steep hills. So let's jump right in and take a look. The bustling, vibrant city of Tokyo in Japan is famed for its bright lights, culture, architectural feats and incredible food. And it's one of the most popular city holiday destinations in the world. But very few tourists to this city know about the underground superstructure that lies 22 meters below street level. It's the 2 billion Metropolitan Underground Discharge Channel, and it's without a doubt the city's most impressive engineering feat. It's a 6.3 kilometer network of tunnels and chambers, and it's been designed to protect the city in case of a typhoon or flood, as Tokyo has on many occasions been devastated by natural disasters. The water would drain from the city into these tanks down below, and those chambers are gigantic. Just one of them is big enough to contain the Statue of Liberty. Now, this defense system was completed in 2006. It took 13 years of work, and each of these chambers is connected to a 13,000 horsepower pump, and they can discharge 200 tons of water per second into nearby rivers. And imagine a large 25-meter pool. These pumps would empty that pool in 3 seconds flat, which is insane. Now, hopefully Tokyo won't have to experience another typhoon or flood anytime soon. But if one does occur, I'm sure they're now well prepared, and this defense system will make it easier to endure. Have you ever been behind someone at traffic lights and they're distracted, and they don't see the light turn green and they just sit there for ages and annoy everybody, until someone beeps at them and they realise and move? Well, in some cities, in some countries around the world, they have these LED traffic lights, and you really need a good excuse not to see these change green. The whole pole illuminates. Also, it helps in some situations where large vehicles are blocking your view at junctions. And overall, these are a pretty genius invention that I'd love to see in a city near me. The vast majority of cities and towns, pretty much everywhere, have a small problem with public urination. Quite disgusting, I know, but it's usually around popular drinking spots. Drunk people at night, and it costs these cities money to clean it up. And you can kind of tell where it happens, because it's where you'll find a particularly bad smelling dark alley. And of course, if these people are caught in the act, they'll in most cases receive a fine. But it seems that alone is not a good enough deterrent. So now councils and authorities have stepped it up a notch with a little solution that would make a public urinator urinate on themselves. All it is a little paint solution that's applied to the wall. The paint creates a barrier that repels liquid, meaning that urine will bounce off the wall and back towards the offender. And the funny thing is, there's no way to tell which areas have been painted with this solution, which leaves these public urinators playing a little game of roulette, where if they lose, they'll be walking home rather wet and a little smelly. South Korea has an incredible system in some cities to automatically clean its roads using rainwater. So when it rains, the water is captured and funneled into hydraulic tanks, where it is then stored. And it's programmed to disperse that water via sprinklers in the middle of roads at certain times, to give them a nice jet clean. Pretty impressive, very economical and very smart. The city of Taipei in Taiwan hosted the Universiade in 2017, which is basically the Olympics for university athletes around the world. And to promote this, they decorated the floors of public transport with 3D printed images of some of the related Olympic games. For instance, this train carriage was decorated to look like an Olympic swimming pool, with a floor that has a 3D ripple effect. And whilst I know it's not an invention to make people's lives more comfortable or solve a problem, it's just a bit of fun, and I imagine it made commuters' journeys a little bit more interesting. In some cities in Australia, they've come up with a genius filtering system for its waterways to prevent water pollution. And literally, all it is a net over their storm drains that capture litter. The concept is simple and it's low cost, and in a trial run, just 2 of these nets in 2 different locations managed to capture 370 kilograms of rubbish in only 6 months. Its success goes to show that sometimes simple solutions can be extremely effective and have a considerable impact, and just a simple net will help protect the environment and reduce the amount of rubbish flowing into the ocean. How many of you would be brave enough to use this transparent toilet in London? It's the only loo where you can still enjoy the city views whilst you're indisposed. Fear not though, it's only one-way glass. People can't see in. That would be a little bit weird. Only the person using it can see out, which I guess would be fun. It'd be an experience for sure. But would you guys use it? Let me know in the comments below. Picture the scene. You're taking a walk around a lovely little park when you get a little bit tired and you want to sit down and take a rest on a bench. But it's just been raining and all of those benches are soaking wet. If you sit on them, you'll get a soggy bottom. So what do? Well, fear not, an inventor from South Korea has come up with a solution for this. He's invented these rolling benches, and all you do is spin the handle and it will rotate a new dry surface for you to sit down and admire the view without getting soaking wet clothes. Cycling is of course an excellent way to get around and to keep fit, but sometimes when faced with an extremely steep hill, most of us would be like, yeah, I'm gonna get off and walk up here instead. Now the Norwegian city of Trondheim has a solution to this problem. On a very steep hill on a popular cycle route, they've installed the world's very first cycle escalator, which has already transported over 200,000 cyclists up this 150-meter hill. People just simply put their foot on the cyclo-cable pedal and get pushed all the way to the top at 5 miles per hour. And this little invention has become such a hit, companies around the world are reportedly looking to export the design. So all of us lazy people can rejoice, as it may be coming to a city